Well, we're here with the Gills Gaffer, Steve Evans. Steve, nice to be back in your office and doing things face to face rather than over Zoom or over the phone. Now, before we do the update, which we're here to do, it would be wrong of me not to, on behalf of the entire football club, send their thoughts and condolences to you and your family following the news yesterday. I'm sure it's hit you for six and your family, but just give us an update on how you are.
Yeah, I'm fine, Phil. Well, obviously I got a call late on Wednesday evening from my brother up in Scotland to say that my mum had passed suddenly. Not expected. Mum's come through cancer and she was always a fighter and different things, but just didn't feel well early evening and actually went for a lay down and never gained consciousness again. It's really hard on all of us, but there's people loses their loved ones every day, and my reaction has been to come to work, stay very level, very calm, got on my bits, and we'll get after the weekend, and I'll make my way north and go and deal with mum and the family, and we'll give her the best send off as a family we possibly can. But absolutely heartfelt thanks from everyone in football, everyone, I mean the highest profile managers in this world, to people that I've worked with out of football for many years, and just thank you to every one of them. But everyone's experienced this. It's really tough, but we'll kick on, and we'll train today, and we'll get ready for tomorrow.
Well, I think I speak on behalf of every Gillingham fan when we send our thoughts, and we've had so many nice messages, which I know you've seen, which must have touched you.
Oh yeah, it's been incredible. Our chairman's been wonderfully supportive. Darren McAntony, Peter also, Barry Fry. People that I have enormous respect for. Massimo Cellino. The people at Leeds United, Victor Ortiz. They're just wonderful people, and so heartfelt thanks. My mum would always be the first to say life for the living. If it never happened to me, go to work, boys and girls. There's 4 boys and 1 girl. Go to work and get on with looking after your own things and your family and your workplace, and just see me away in a nice fashion. So we'll do that next midweek.
Should we talk some football? Let's talk about recruitment, because I know it's probably the biggest word during pre-season, isn't it? I think you've signed 5 or 6 players to date. What's your assessment of your recruitment so far? Are you happy, satisfied, more to do? How are you feeling right now in regards to who you've brought in?
Yeah, listen, it really is a clean piece of paper. You come in the first day of pre-season training, Phil, and you attended at a distance, as you know, was 8 players, of which 2 were goalkeepers, so 6 outfield players. So really, really difficult. And obviously from that as well, we've lost Lee Hodson, who's gone up to Scotland, and we wish Lee every success with his young family. Absolute smashing lad, great lad. So we've had to work real hard on our recruitment. We brought a few lads in to add to the group that we've got. We're steadily building towards the new season. There will be hopefully another signing later today, maybe tomorrow morning, and hopefully there will be another one on Monday. That tends to have, the chairman has given me the nod that he thinks he's almost there with those deals, and we're still actively working on perhaps 4 or 5 more, and we'll be running with 18, 19, 20 players. That's what you do, probably 18, 19, when you've got the resources we have. But we feel so far we've had value for money, but you can only ever really judge that when the football starts, and not what a player demonstrates on paper, because you know what, a player's reputation is good, and it's nice when they've got a CV, but every manager likes to watch them on the grass and produce their performances. But training's been really, really bright the last couple of days. We're a long way from knowing what our team will be when we line up in the Carabao Cup on the 5th, or indeed EFL action on the 12th of September, and we're probably bodies not in the building yet that would start in those games, but we're working very, very hard to try and give the Gillingham supporters the best possible team we can, in what is going to be a real harsh, tough, difficult league with a quality of size that's come down from the Championship. A young man I know very well, close to my home, Grant McCann up at Hull. I think he's done some wonderful recruitment since they've come down, but full of Championship players. You look at Wigan, whatever new manager goes in there will inherit a Championship squad, and I'm not going to go on about them when you see the Sunderlands and the Portsmouths and the Peterboroughs and the Ipswiches all here. It's a real tough competition. I think I said it, that's much better, but I think we'll be better too.
You spoke about training. In your experience, do you know instinctively on the training pitch when you know that your players are match ready?
Yes, I think some of the younger players could line up on Saturday. They're ready because younger players are normally keep themselves more active. They see themselves train more, and they're just young, and that's what youth brings. But I think if we take everything into consideration, I mean everything, we are genuinely, probably 2 weeks behind everyone else in coming back in. But that was a bit bodies, not resources. That was a bit bodies, and my choice. So we have a real meaningful pre-season programme of matches that I put together as far back as April, when we were in May, when we had to plan. It's just a shame that some of these won't be open to the public, but that's where we are until such times as the Prime Minister decides we can support us in.
Now, of course, the first game is Colchester tomorrow, which was announced yesterday, mainly due to security concerns of fans attending. But obviously, you've got plenty more games in the offing. Tomorrow, is it just a case of taking every single member of your squad and giving them as many minutes as you can give them?
Well, we have to, because we don't have enough. There may be some youngsters involved. And I have to be absolutely clear, these youngsters cannot be telling their parents they're part of a first team squad at Gillingham, because they're not. But we'll need them around tomorrow. They may be in the future, that's the plan for them. And hopefully they can deliver that plan, but they're not going to be in the first team squad when we go 2 weeks down the line or whatever. So we're a little bit light in numbers, but the good thing is the quality on show and training this week has been very good. And I've said it many, many times, we're not going to do what this football club has done many, many years, which is sign players for the sake of signing players. We're not going to do that. We're going to sign players that we think can add something to the group. We may have to take a punt or two at times. Sometimes it's very calculated decisions, very informed decisions. Like the two lads from Arsenal, very informed decisions. Jacob Mellor's very informed decision. Certainly Oliver, a very informed decision. I could go on. We've did really well. Ryan Jackson, very informed decision. So we have to make sure that we're making these decisions based on that they've got something to bring to the playing squad and for our supporters at Gillingham.
And those other pre-season games will announce in due course, as we spoke off camera just before we started. Something that has been announced is the fixtures for the EFL season. They'll release next Friday at 9 o'clock. He's fist pumping. Is that the date you really look forward to? It becomes real. It's happening.
Yeah, it normally comes, as you know, in the middle of June, and probably most of us managers then are having a week or 10 days away with their families, whatever, and you get them emailed to you, and you sit with your family, and you're on your own, really, in terms of football terms, and you can get excited. I think last year I was with Kike Flores, and the fixtures come through, and you have a buzz, you get excited. But from our point of view, it's always a good day. Are we at home, are we away, where are we Christmas, where are we Easter, how's it running? All very exciting, but one thing we all acknowledge post-COVID is that it's very difficult in very different times. And I think we can have a little chuckle on this, but I went in to get some fuel this morning, and one of my staff jumped in to pay for me as I was filling to get in the queue, and I just looked up and I glanced in, and there's 6 or 7 people in there with face masks on. And I thought, if you'd done this pre-COVID, it'd be a robbery. But it's not, it's a sign of the times. And I had a chuckle when he came in the car and explained it, and probably people around us thought we're silly with 2 old guys just driving down the road, me and Paul Reynard, and just giggling away, and just at that little thought. So it's very difficult, very different times. These matches that we've got lined up, and a mix of opposition as supporters will get to know, is very different how we approach it, how we get there, what we can do, what we can't do, and but we need to be ready, because become the 5th of September for the Carabao, or come EFL League One, there is no second guessing it. We're in action, and it's going to be full on. And I'm reading today in the national press that supporters might even be allowed in the stadium in some capacity in September. And listen, if you're a Gillingham fan and a Gills fan, and we miss you all dearly, and we want you in, and all around the country, it would just be nice to see people watching football again.